Welcome to 100 Days of Trailhead, where the tech community comes to learn Salesforce, learn tech, get inspired, and invest in ourselves. We are your trail guides, here to support you on your learning journey. We release videos weekly. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a video. In the description below, you can find links for everything we mention in this video, as well as books and resources we found useful. Visit our blog, 100daysoftrailhead.com, for other helpful Salesforce and tech content. Interested in building a Lightning Web Component, better known as LWC? Don't know where to start? In this video, Sara Morgan Nettles walks you through how to begin building your first LWC. Sara Morgan Nettles is a certified Salesforce Platform 2 developer who began her software development career 20 years ago working primarily with Microsoft technologies. She now focuses on sharing her knowledge of developing modern web applications on the Salesforce platform. She has authored numerous books, articles, Pluralsight courses, as well as being a regular speaker at Dreamforce. Your quest, should you choose to take it, is to journey with us to learn how to build your very first LWC. Your quest begins now.
Hello, fellow Trailblazers. My name is Sara Morgan Nettles, and welcome to my presentation on the top 5 tips for building your first Lightning Web Component. I'm currently an independent Salesforce developer and also a certified Platform 2 developer, but I'm also a Pluralsight author. And you can find more about the courses that I've published, which are all about Lightning, by the way, here on my author page on Pluralsight, which you see here in this link up here. But a big reason why I was able to publish all those courses, especially the ones about Lightning Web Components, was because for a short time I worked for the team Trailhead at Salesforce. And here's a picture of me with the team on my first day of work, which also happened to be Dreamforce. Talk about a crazy first day. But seriously, while I was there, I was honored to be part of, not at Dreamforce, but at Salesforce, I was honored to be part of the closed pilot that they had for Lightning Web Components. So I actually know quite a lot about them before they were even released. And with that, let's get started with what are my top 5 tips for building your first Lightning Web Component. And we'll begin with something that you might not find hard to believe as Trailblazers, and that is that if you have not already checked out the Build Lightning Web Components Trailhead Trail, I strongly suggest you do so. I have here linked a shortened URL that you can get to just in case, and it has several projects and modules that you really want to go through. And if you're brand new to Lightning Web Components, this is definitely the place to start. And at the very least, you will want to complete the first one, which you see here in the screenshot, which is the Quick Start project, because this one will walk you through step by step in setting up your Salesforce DX environment. Because in case you have not started looking at Lightning Web Components, you might not realize that you cannot create them in the online developer console like you can Apex classes, Visualforce pages, other things, or even Aura components for that matter. So you must actually use the tools that Salesforce DX offers. That's part of the thing with Lightning Web Components. And the most important one that they offer is the Salesforce extension pack. But the one that you see here in this screenshot, though, is what's called an extended expansion pack. And it's so much better than the one that all the docs tell you to install, because this one includes several very helpful extensions that honestly you're ultimately going to need anyway, but you'll have to install it by yourself one by one. And of course, if you're just starting, you won't even know that you need to install them until after you've been doing this for a while. So that's why I've included this as a tip. And I now want to do a little short demo for you where I've brought up Visual Studio Code, and that's also one of the tools that are available. Now this is from Microsoft Visual Studio Code, and if you walk through those quick start, it'll tell you how to install this as well. But the expansions pack is part of this. Now to do that, I'm just going to show you how you get to it. You go over here to this extensions icon over here on the left toolbar, and you click that, and if I start to type something like Salesforce, you can see it'll bring up all the ones that are starting with Salesforce, and the first 2 it has here I've already actually installed, and you will need to install this too if you ultimately go on to build your first component. But that's not what I want you to focus on right now. Notice that it says the Salesforce extension pack, and this is the one that they will walk you through in the docs for doing. But if I want to go a little further and keep typing extended, expansion, then you'll see down here there's actually another one that appears in the list. Yes, here it is. Okay, the Salesforce extended extension pack. And this one, which I have not installed, but I can, even if I've already installed the first one, by just clicking that little install button. Then it'll go through the process and install it. And it'll bring it up over here on the right, and you can see the README page for it. It includes a bunch of other things that are not part of that standard package, which is ESLint, Prettier Code Formatter, XML, and AMX PMD. And these are all, like I said, very useful tools that ultimately, as you do your Lightning Web Component development, you'll find out, well, I need these, and you'll have to install them yourself. But if you install this extension pack, then you'll be able to get to them already. So that's why I've included it as one of my tips. And that brings us to tip number 3, which is to use the built-in CLI Help. And the CLI, by the way, stands for Command Line Interface. And if you're like a lot of people, those words might seem a bit scary to you, but trust me, there really is nothing to fear. Because I promise, if you use the built-in help, you may find yourself actually liking the CLI before long. And to show you a little bit about what I mean, I'm going to go back to Visual Studio Code here. And I'm going to go to a terminal window. And it's not important for you so much to realize this, but just watch what I'm doing as far as accessing the help. By bringing up the terminal window, I will be able to access SFDX help. And I do that through this terminal window by just typing SFDX space and then help. That's it. And once I hit enter, it'll bring up those first commands that shows, first of all, what version of SFDX I'm using, and it'll also show a bunch of topics and then a bunch of commands. And you can see if I go ahead and I want to go further down into this, like I want to find out a particular topic, and the one you'll probably be accessing more than anything is the Force topic, which has the tools for the Salesforce developer. Then I would go SFDX and then Force. And then if you go beyond this first level, you have to do a dash dash and then help. And once I do that, I can see that I have not only the usage shown here, but I have all the different options that are available for this particular command. And it shows me all the different topics that are basically available in that Force topic. And you can see there's quite a few different ones here. You got analytics, Apex, auth, community, lightning, limits, package, project, all these things. One of the ones you'll use probably more than anything is a project, which is a Salesforce DX project. So to get more information about that, I'm going to go ahead and type SFDX and then Force, and then I'll need to put a semicolon there, and then the next one, which will be project, and then that dash dash help. And this time I go down even further and I get to see the usage for that particular command, as well as the fact that it has two different commands here. One to create a Salesforce DX project and one to upgrade. I'm just interested in the one to create. So to go down even further, I'm just going to go one more level and go Force and then project, create, dash dash help. And as I'm typing, you can see here I'm going further down and I'm learning more about all the different things that are available here. And I can see all the different options that are listed. I see a description of what this does. I can even see some examples that show me some possible alternatives for how I can do this command. And so this can be really, really helpful as you're learning. I mean, you will find if you go through some of the docs that there is a nice little view command palette feature up here. And they have all these little, and this is the one most people tell you about, is all the things that you can create that project just by clicking here. But if you really want to learn about Lightning Web Components and all that is possible, then you really need to get into that CLI. And the best way to do it is to just take the time to go in here, type these commands out, see what's involved, and just keep picking through it until you learn some more. And that's why I've included it as one of my tips. And now, back to the tips, we'll go on to number 4, which is to always use the Lightning-based components whenever possible. And these are just basic things. And what you see here are the docs that Salesforce has provided. And I also include a shortened link to it, which are the official docs. And I want to show you a little kind of demo. So I want to walk you through, if I actually go here to my web browser and go to that same page that I was talking about, and I expand the Lightning over here on the left, you can see that there's a whole bunch of different components here. I've got an accordion, an avatar, a badge, breadcrumbs, button, card. I can just keep scrolling down. I've got input buttons, layouts, pills, all sorts of different things. And these are all the different elements essentially that are used to build up whatever Lightning page you want to create. And it's very important to use it. One of the ones that's probably the most popular is the card one here. And if I click on it, the reason these docs are so helpful is they have this little Lightning mini playground that actually shows you what some of the HTML code and the basic JavaScript will look like for this particular component that you want to use. And you can even go up here in the example tab and you can kind of select different varieties. They usually have different varieties for each one. Like in this case, the standard one is the basic card, but you can look at what would be a card with a narrow variant, or what would be a card with a custom title. So you can get different things. And then what's nice about this is you can actually take this code, copy it to your clipboard as you were learning, and then paste it inside of Visual Studio Code to kind of start your journey and then start playing with it from there. And that's why I've included that as one of my tips. Okay, and now on to the last tip, number 5. That is to use the sample app gallery, which you can find using the shortened URL that I have here. And all of these apps were all designed by the incredible developers with the Salesforce Developer Relations Group that I got to know when I was working at Salesforce. And they not only demonstrate the new Salesforce features and best practices for how to create Lightning Web components, but they just have some amazing practices that are constantly updated with each new release. And so it's very important that you use these as a basis for how you learn and not just general searches that you do out there on the web. I hope this helps you start your journey towards learning more about Lightning Web Components. They really are fun to do and to create, and for sure they are the future of all Salesforce development. So it's really important that you take the time to learn about them. And I blog about them on my website, which is saramorgan.net. You can find a link here. So you might want to check that out too. But thanks again for watching, and take care.
And with that, we're at the end. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button so we know what content is most helpful to you. If this video started you on your path to building your first Lightning Web Component, let us know by commenting below. We also want to hear about the topics that you want us to cover in future videos. We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you've made it to this point, we want to take an opportunity to say thank you. Since you've stayed with us, here's a bonus. Watch Sara's plural site courses, Building Your First Lightning Web Component for Salesforce, and Salesforce Lightning Web Components, The Big Picture. The links to these courses will be listed in the descriptions below. Thank you for spending time with us. Please like and subscribe to our channel because we share weekly content to support your tech and Salesforce learning journey. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss a new video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. Connect with us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and on 100daysoftrailhead.com, all of which are listed below. Thank you for learning with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.